cutting 3 7-inch wide strips. You're going to take one piece of your 3 pieces that you have cut, your 7-inch pieces. One piece is going to end up being your peplum. Let's say, for instance, your hip is 42 inches. You're going to divide that by 2, which will give you 21. And you want to add a 1/2 inch, or add 1 inch, which will be a 1/2 inch for each side. So we're going to use the measurement as a 21. Our fabric measures a 30, so that means we're going to be cutting 8 inches off. So I've cut my 8 inches off that I don't need now. So I'm going to take this piece now, which becomes my waist or my hip part, the peplum, and we're going to just split it in half. You want to measure your waist. Go back to our paper here. If your waist, and this was your hip here, if your waist is a 32, you can divide that by 2 as well. So that would be 16 for the waist. We're going to measure across, and we're going to measure 16 inches. Our fabric actually measures 23 across, and we only need 16. You're going to subtract, so you got 23 minus 16, which would be, you're going to take out 7 inches on each side total, so you're going to divide that by 2, because you got 1 on each side, which would be 6, so which would be 3. We're going to take 3 inches off of each side of our peplum. And now to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use our chalk pen. You're going to take it and you're going to measure 3 inches, because you notice that would make a 6 instead of 7, but we're going to leave the extra inch for seam allowance. So now what we're going to do is you got to cut it at an angle, because remember, you need all this space on your hip, but you don't need all this space on the waist. So what you're going to do is I'm going to chalk it so that I cut it in an angle. So now let's cut that off. So now we have the peplum for our wrap top, and what we're going to do is we're going to serge these sides. Just serge them up, because we're going to leave the bottom of this raw. As you can see, I've serged my 2 pieces together, so I'm going to turn it on the right side. I've got the peplum on the mannequin, and I just used white pants so the black would stand out. Let's see, here's our peplum piece. Here's our waist, and here's the hip. So now we're going to take our other 2, our straps, and we want to attach the strap and just sew a stitch to hold them in place. So I'm just going to sew a stitch right down the middle. So now that we've got our 2 pieces connected together to put in the center of the wrap top, now we're going to come and connect it to our waist. So you're going to do right sides together. The wonderful thing about knit is you don't have to hem it, because you can leave it raw, but you are going to have to make sure you cut it straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew this 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So now I'm stitching right sides together, and when you're sewing, you want to make sure that you're using a stretch stitch. If you don't have a stretch stitch on your machine, then you want to use the smallest stitch or the widest stitch that you have, and stretch just a little bit, slightly pull the fabric as you sew, because remember, this is a pullover, so you're not going to have a zipper to open it up. Okay, here you can see, here's the front. See where the seams have been sewn together? It almost looks like a halter top. But see how you got the seams sewn together there? So, but you notice how it stops here. So what you want to do is just turn that down and just top stitch the back. Same thing here. You want to do a stretch stitch. It's all sewn, so let me show you what the finished product looks like, because we're done. Just you only got about 3 or 4 sets of stitches on this top, and you got your nice cool top for the summer. This is what it should look like when you're done. The front sewn in on both sides, and you've got the back closed over with just a little top stitch, and the inside is left raw because it's not going to unravel. So now we're ready for wrapping. If you connected it correctly, this is what it should look like. Here is you see the peplum at the bottom here, and you have the one strap on one side, and you have the one strap on the other side. So now you do the same thing for this top as you would do for the wrap dress. Now I decided on my personal top, because I'm a modest person, I decided to sew a stitch down the center, because I didn't want all of this open when we start the wrap, because some of the wrap styles that you do, this part will be open, some it will be closed.